Hi guys, my name is Kat. Welcome to my channel, The Devil's Advocate, where we use critical thinking to look at situations going on with influencers and YouTubers, like as of now and in the past. And today I want to discuss the Amberlynn Reid situation. As most of you will know in Girl World and have seen in Girl World, there's been a lot of text messages back and forth between Amberlynn Reid and Emily, and I kind of want to discuss the situation with both of them, a bit of the psychology of what's going on, and and hopefully I'll get some of your views. So if that's something you're interested in, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and start building the channel. Because I find sometimes looking at some of these channels, things can be a bit one-sided, and I'm very much a think outside the box person. But before we begin, I just want it to be known that this is all my opinion. Don't go to people's pages and leave any messages, and you know the drill. So let's start. So the situation recently with Amberlynn Reid and Emily has been over text messages. There was, I think, 77 sent to Rachel Reacts, just lining out some of the really manipulative behaviours going on in that relationship, which we all knew immediately was toxic. And we all told Amberlynn Reid that it was toxic. But I think having a little bit of an understanding in mental health, and where Amberlynn has come from in the foster system, etc., that need to be loved or need to find love, and jumping quickly from relationship to relationship to moving in with them is actually a relatively normal response for coming from that situation. And it's not me condoning any of her behaviours towards her exes and the manipulative behaviours we've seen before, but I feel that there are definitely traits there, that she may have mental health disorders, possibly BPD. I think narcissism and BPD, there is a very fine line between the two of them. But she's definitely, we all know that she's had a rough upbringing. She's been estranged from her family from a young age, and that can cause a lack of development and need to belong somewhere, a need for purpose and to find something. And I definitely feel like Amberlynn, with her behaviours and the way, like I say, the way she's jumping around from relationship to relationship, and the neediness of her, from her partners, etc., definitely stems from that. Now, that does not make her actions correct, and the fact that she's never tried to get help for that, speaks volumes to me. She definitely needs to go and seek support for that. She's not doing herself any favours, and I definitely feel like her family is enabling that situation by jumping when she says how high and allowing her to have that control and manipulation over her life. So we all know that she met Emily. She very quickly moved in with Emily, and the netizens on all the reaction channels and the reaction channels themselves were finding out loads of information about Emily, and it turned out that she was a part of a feeder group, and she's on all these feeder websites. She likes to make women big, and so alarm bells rang for a lot of people, and people were telling Amberlynn to stay away from her, etc., etc. We all say, though, that love is blind, and when you're that desperate looking for love and someone is showing you so much affection and so much care, you kind of overlook all the shit side of it because you desperately want that connection with someone, especially being from a foster background, like I said before, where you don't have your family around, etc. I definitely feel that because Amberlynn hasn't had the help she needs with all of her mental health issues, that it's now escalated into, it's snowballed into something completely new, for her, especially as she's getting older. There's definitely a certain amount of immaturity there, as we've seen with her quote unquote crash outs. she obviously doesn't know how to control her emotions. And yeah, she can definitely be very manipulative, reading some of those text messages that she's sending, like deliberately deflecting from the questions that she's been asked by Emily, or like not giving answers or proper responses, but instead trying to flip that background onto Emily. Like, you can definitely see that is not an appropriate behavior, and like it's very very unusual behavior. But then it was also a very very unusual situation, because the little bit of research I've done on feeders lately, because I was completely intrigued as to, like, well, how does that even work? Like, how do you get somebody to that point where they want to be a part of that? And from what I've discovered, it's a insecurity on her part, like, that made Amberlynn want to make Emily happy. And the way feeder-feedy relationship works is almost like a dominant and submissive. So for Emily, she was the dominant and Amber was the submissive. So for the dominant in a feeder relationship, they want to be able to control the other person, to immobilize that other person, and make themselves feel better about themselves by causing harm to that other person. If what Amberlynn said was true about her seeing all of these photographs of these big women with oxygen masks completely immobilized, because they've been fed, and how much gratification Emily got from that situation, like, that's a massive red flag and alarm bell there. I mean, there are cases where, like, some of the feedies have actually also enjoyed being a feedie and being looked after and being immobilized in such a way. Like, there's definitely information out there about that. But I can clearly see in this situation, like, Emily, like, I feel Emily roped Amberlynn in by saying, I want to look after you, like, I want to be there for you, I will do anything, all your wishes will come true if you come here and be with me. And then didn't realise that Amberlynn was also quite a manipulative character, and it's just been like a shit show for everybody ever since. And I think we can all agree on that. But with the feeder, there is a lot of manipulation involved. Like, when Amberlynn's saying that she was, like, with me, she was looking after me, she was like, she took the footstool away from me when I was trying to get into the car, she deliberately left it behind. Like, these are all control tactics. Like, all of them are. And even the situation now where she's showing all of these text messages that Amberlynn has sent to her and vice versa, it's all a manipulation tactic. And I feel that with all these text messages coming out to all these reaction channels, which don't particularly like Amberlynn because of a lot of situations that have gone on over the years, including the Rarity situation, which, hopefully we will get to the bottom of soon, because justice for Rarity. I'm a cat lover. I have 2 cats, and I could not imagine in a million years, like, being able to just sit there and pretend I'm okay if one of them went missing. I'd be absolutely distraught. Anyway, I digress. Like, the fact Emily's going round to all these individual channels, giving them little bits and pieces of what their relationship was like, is a deliberate control tactic to try and isolate Amberlynn. And that's what narcissists and manipulators and controlling people do. Like, if the feeder part of her brain is about control, then she's not going to give up that control easily. And I can tell you that now, and that's exactly what's happening. That's how I am interpreting it. This is all solely my opinion, like I said before. And the Amberlynn videos, when she was crying so much, like, to be honest, I can't watch someone cry like that, no matter what they've done. I cannot sit there and watch like 2 hours of somebody absolutely crying their eyes out. It was just horrendous. And I think there is some truth into what she's saying. There were definitely parts of it when she was crying, like especially at one point where she just took that really deep breath, where she was just like, like when she was like going to tell that embarrassing statement. Like, I believe that. I believe there was actual pain and embarrassment talking about that. And then the people saying, why didn't she just leave? Why didn't she just leave the situation? Like, I don't think that's very fair. Like, I know she's not a great person. I know she's done a lot of things herself in the past. But unless you've been in that abusive situation with the manipulation, the emotional control, and the love bombing, and then the threats as well, like I believe they've both threatened each other. I don't believe it was just Amberlynn. I believe that Tommy is very controlling and manipulative, and maybe it's not written in messages, but maybe she's said things that like have been pretty disgusting, and like we've heard about that with her going on Reddits and completely slagging off Amberlynn to everybody, and even when they were still together, like talking about Amberlynn to Mr. Snowflake. Like, this is all very manipulative, and it's very deliberate to try and make Amberlynn feel like she has nobody except Emily. Except what Emily didn't count on is that wasn't going to work, because that's actually Amberlynn's tactic. So they were both bouncing off each other back and forth, and I believe they are both as bad as each other. But there's one question that I feel that nobody has asked, and that is, if Emily gets joy out of watching morbidly obese people that are completely immobilized with oxygen masks on, like literally, like the most unhealthy way possible, and that's what she enjoys to see, why the fuck is she a nurse? Like, has anybody like even really thought about that? Like, why would you want to be a nurse unless like it's, if you have that kind of mentality when seeing people so unwell gets you excited and aroused, would you want that person as your nurse in a hospital? Like, again, this is just completely my opinion, and it's me being very critical thinking, but I absolutely know I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. So I just wonder why she picked that job in the first place. Like, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that, because that's something that's been playing on my mind a little bit while all this is going on. And like I've said before, like, I definitely believe Amberlynn's a very manipulative person. She can be very controlling in her relationships, and I believe that she needs to pay back that money to Bex that she owes her. Like, I 100% think that is the absolute right thing to do, and I really hope that all of this that's going on now makes her realise like what she's been like. The other thing with Tommy, or Emily, sorry, is on all those messages when Amberlynn's not saying sorry for things, neither's Emily. So, like, Emily woke up thinking they were in a fight, had a right go at Amberlynn, upset Amberlynn, but nowhere in those messages is she apologising either for that. Like, not at all. The other thing is Rarity. Amberlynn brings up Rarity, saying she's gone missing. Can Emily come home? And then that's like literally it. Like, Emily doesn't ask if she's found Rarity. Like, no, neither of them talk about her after that at all. So it just makes me wonder, like maybe I'm reading in between the lines. Again, I'd love to hear your comments and perspective on the situation. But, you know, is there something we're missing there? Like, why have neither of them brought up rarity, and people are going to say, yeah, fair enough, but it's Amber's cat, so she should have been more concerned about it. Fair enough, but if I was living with a partner who brought a cat with me and I was at work and they said their cat's gone missing, like, I would ask, no matter even if I was in an argument with them, I would genuinely be concerned about whether that cat's okay or not, or whether it's been found, or whether it's safe. But, neither of them mentioned it after that at all. So I find that whole situation like completely bizarre. I mean, all we can hope now is that Amber shows a bit of proof of the situation between her and Emily. And then we'll see like what Rachel reacts says next. She says she has more proof, she has more receipts. So we will wait and see, and hopefully we'll get some more answers to all these questions, and hopefully we'll get some truth from Amberlynn, because at the moment, with the way Emily's being, like, Amberlynn's world is getting smaller by the second. So I think she really needs to address this situation now. And I think Emily needs to stop. Like, I don't think Emily should be showing videos of Amberlynn having tantrums. Amberlynn said that she was filming her all the time. Every time she upset her, Emily would take a video of her being upset. That's another control tactic. She's keeping that as evidence to try and manipulate Amberlynn, like, all the time. And that also is completely disgusting and unfair. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about that for now. But I really would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. I really want this page to be a discussion between us and the people who are on Amber's side and the people who aren't, but like a real discussion, not just throwing like insults at each other and things like that. I want us to be able to have a nice conversation about both sides of the situation. And I want to make videos about what everybody thinks. So, like, I would love to hear your thoughts on the situation. Where do you think it's going to go from here? Has anything I said resonated with any of you, or do you have anything to add to it? Or even if there's anybody with this particular fetish who watches Amberlynn Reid could like maybe weigh in on the feedy situation. I'd love to hear like what a perspective is on that. So yeah, please subscribe, help me get my channel going, and I cannot wait to read your comments and see what you all have to say, and I will speak to you again very soon. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.